His dog returned alone. The leash was cut. It was supposed to be a normal Sunday hike. 12-year-old Liam Morgan and his golden retriever, Baxter, had been exploring the dense trails of Pine Ridge for years. The forest just beyond their rural Oregon town was their haven, where Liam escaped the noise of his parents' divorce and Baxter never needed a leash. But that day, Liam's father had insisted on extra caution. "Take the leash. There's been strange activity in the woods lately," he warned, his voice edged with concern. Liam didn't argue. He clipped the leash onto Baxter's collar and disappeared into the green maze of trees. But only one of them returned. Hours later, Baxter came sprinting out of the woods, breathless, covered in mud, and dragging a leash that had been cleanly cut. No Liam. No sound. No trace. Just that leash, severed as if by a blade. Panic rippled through the town. Search parties were dispatched. Helicopters scoured the skies. Volunteers combed every inch of the forest. But Pine Ridge swallowed its secrets like a silent predator. There were no signs of struggle, no tracks, no clothing, just the unbearable silence. Liam's mother, Amanda, refused to accept the worst. "He's out there. I know my boy." He wouldn't leave Baxter behind unless he had to. Weeks turned into months. The case faded from the headlines. People moved on. But Amanda didn't. She started researching, digging, interviewing hikers and locals. That's when she discovered something deeply unsettling, a pattern of disappearances spanning over 30 years. Always near Pine Ridge. Always in summer. Always involving children or teens. And nearly all of them had a common thread: dogs that returned alone. But nobody had ever found a body. Then, on the first anniversary of Liam's disappearance, Amanda received an anonymous envelope. Inside was a photograph. It showed Liam, alive, standing in what looked like a forest cabin, holding up a torn piece of paper with a single word written in red: "Run." Amanda turned it over. On the back, GPS coordinates. She contacted the authorities, but they dismissed it as a hoax. "People send cruel things. It's not uncommon," they told her. But Amanda recognized her son's eyes. His crooked smile. His jacket. She couldn't sit still. She contacted a retired detective, Miles Granger, known for taking cold cases personally. Granger was skeptical until Amanda showed him the records. The dog pattern. The disappearances. The coordinates. 3 days later, they drove deep into Pine Ridge, far beyond where any official search had reached. Armed with a drone, cameras, and a silent hope, they followed the GPS. It led them to a section of forest marked with warning signs. "Private property, trespassers will be shot." But they pushed forward. And they found it. A cluster of abandoned cabins, camouflaged by overgrowth. Granger flew the drone over the area. No heat signatures. But Amanda felt something. A pulse in the air, a whisper through the trees. Like the forest itself was holding its breath. Inside one of the cabins, they found carvings, names etched into the wood. Dates. Dozens of them. And then, in a hidden panel behind a crumbling bookshelf, a locked room. When they forced it open, the smell hit them first. Not decay. Disinfectant. Inside were 2 beds, canned food, a generator, and scribbled notes. Pages and pages of entries. "Watched again today. Same man. Scar on left cheek. He took Mia 2 days ago. She didn't scream. I figured out how to get out. If anyone finds this, I'm heading north." The last entry was signed, Liam M. Amanda broke down. But there was no Liam. No other person. Just evidence, horrifying evidence, that her son had survived something. That maybe others had too. That night, as Granger reviewed the drone footage again, he noticed something. A figure moving through the trees. A man. And even in the grainy night vision, the scar on his cheek was unmistakable. They handed everything to the FBI. An investigation was launched. 3 weeks later, they found him, living under an alias 2 states away. His home had locks on the outside of the doors. A truck with maps of Pine Ridge. And in his basement, photos. Of every child who had gone missing. Liam was found in a recovery center in Montana, safe, but deeply traumatized. He hadn't spoken in over a year. But when Amanda sat beside him and whispered, "You can go home now," he began to cry. The forest had swallowed him, but he'd clawed his way out. And Baxter, the dog who never gave up, was waiting at the door.